This conference will now be recorded.
So Mohan, have you installed Oracle database?
Oracle
If
DB.
you have the yeah, if you have the DB, just load this sample superstore Excel into your database system with the three tables, or that's a people returns.
I don't
So
have
what it?
access.
Why don't you have Excel? This is sample superstore. Everyone will have, right? Once you install,
Excel. You mean to say Oracle DB? I mean.
once you install Oracle database,
Uh-huh.
load this Excel sheet as a tables into that. So this
Okay.
Excel sheet has a three sheets, right? Three sheets
Hmm.
can be loaded as three tables. Got it?
Okay.
Orders of people and returns.
Yes. Yes.
So try, yeah, check that one. Okay. Try
Okay.
to have a Oracle database in the machine. So going forward, if you have these Excel data in the Oracle database, instead of pointing to the Excel sheet, you can point the connection to the Oracle
Mhm.
database for every practice, every
Yeah.
connection.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, what is the advantage more over this?
In the real time, you don't deal with Excel sheets much, right? I
Hmm.
don't think
Hmm.
all the reporting systems built only on Excel sheet. Most of the time, they'll build on database systems only.
Okay.
So there are sources available. I'm not saying it's not a possible case. They don't maintain data in Excel. They'll maintain the data in Excel, but it's very limited.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So one second. Okay. So here we can see category wise, subcategory wise sales. So yesterday we discussed about some parameters, right? So similarly, I'm loading a parameter, I mean subcategory values into the parameter. You can see here, I'm giving the naming convention as a subcat para. So what is a parameter? So if you look at here, there are two options. One is fixed, one is when workbook opens. What is fixed? What is when workbook opens?
Yeah, fixed is nothing but static code one, right? Prem? I mean,
Yeah,
if we create any parameter, it will not change anything. When what options we given, those only will reflect during the execution. So when we give option like when workbook opens, it means dynamically changes. Is there any changes at when DB end or something? I mean data, so it will continuously will reflect it during the execution.
yes, yes. So this is when workbook opens. So yesterday we created a parameter with fixed option. So what is that? That is complete static. So for example, I have currently 17 subcategories. Later, I have introduced three more subcategories into the market. Accordingly, added products list as well. Okay. So when you are creating a parameter, when you import values from the subcategory using this fixed option, the values whatever available currently is fixed. It will not change. It will not update with the latest or newly added subcategories into this parameter. If you want to add the newly added subcategories dynamically into your parameter, you have to create a parameter with when workbook opens. So whenever you open the workbook, parameter values, I mean the subcategory values reloaded every time into the parameter. Got it? So now here I'm selecting subcategory. Yes. If you look at, so I don't have option to modify it because this is not a manual selection or manually having the list. It is the list which directly coming from the subcategory column. Got it? Let's show parameter control. Yes. So like this the way I can able to pass parameter. So what is the requirement? When I am passing a parameter, I have to show the respective subcategories sale amount. Got it? So yesterday we have shown what is that? Respect to subcategory in the calculated field. For example, get para. Okay. So for example, what is the calculation we wrote? If subcat para is equal to subcategory, then show hide. So this is one way of writing a calculation. Whatever I want to passing the parameter, the same subcategory has to be shown in the report. So this is possible by dragging this to the filter section. You can filter out your data with the show and hide options. Like the way yesterday we discussed about a couple of more things like how to handle the parameter instead of show and hide. So I want to show subcategory in the output. Subcategory in the output. To, to show that what we need to do, we have to replace a show with a, there are two options. You can use a subcategory parameter in the output, correct? So that subcat, this is a calculated field passed here. So how I identified, I have passed a subcat calculated field. If you look at when I'm searching for the sub, it is suggesting couple of columns. So equal ABC, this is a calculated field, correct? So moreover, this is a parameter showing with the blue color label. This is a calculated field showing with a green color. Got it? So like the way when you are passing, you should be very clear. So like the way I can able to pass a subcategory para. So what is the use? Whatever value I'm passing, that will be shown in the output. Remaining all unsatisfied conditions will be part of others. So let's duplicate this again. So here we can also use a category column. Yes. So what happens? So as I said yesterday, this is record by record execution. So subcategory pass parameter, this passes one value. So what is the current value that being placed here? So bookcases is equal to the first record from the subcategory column. See here, the calculations whatever we wrote here, those all are disaggregated calculations. We are not using any type of aggregation. How I am saying there is no type of aggregation being used in the calculated field? I'm not using any sum, I'm not using any count, I'm not using s- any distinct, I'm not using minimum maximum, count distinct, sum average, median mean, correct? Those all are the aggregated functions. So for dimensions also you can perform all those aggregations except some average. You can perform count distinct, everything you can perform. But the thing here, I'm not performing anything, just I'm comparing the data between two values. So subcategory para, this is already aggregated one. Why I am saying this is aggregated? Because subcategory always passes only one value. It holds one value, it passes one value. In the list it might have a number of values, but whatever the value passed, that is the value holded in by the parameter. You cannot hold multiple values from the parameter. Got it? So this is already having a single value. This is single value comparing against with the 17 subcategorical values. Here for example I am showing record by record execution, there are 17 records, but this execution will be executed at underlying data source. How many records you have? Around 10,000 records. So for each record, this is a value, and what is the subcategory value for that? So accordingly, what is the subcategory? If the condition is satisfied, it returns subcategory, otherwise it returns, it names value as others. for that record. Likewise, it executes for 10,000 records, then it holds a result. So when you are dragging this to the sheet, now the execution aggregates the data and aggregated results being shown in your sheet. Hope you got it. Okay, so this is for envelopes. Like the way when you are changing, it re-executes the calculation. Okay, so moreover, calculations will be shown with equal data type label. So equal means what? It is a derived column which is derived in Tableau. So using that, so you can identify whether it is a column coming from the database or column created in Tableau. Okay, so this we know. Now let me duplicate this. Like the way I can able to pass a subcategories, it is clear. Let's place a sheet, the calculations what we created here. Okay, right? So this is, as we discussed, this is a show hide option. So this is the output. We are using existing subcategory column. In this calculated field we are using subcategory parameter. In this calculated field we managing the result as a show and hide options. Got it? So like the way you can able to write calculations. So whereas comes to here, when you're passing a subcategory, what is my requirement? When I'm passing a subcategory from the parameter, I have to show the respective sale amount, and the remaining sale amount has to be shown as zeros. Has to be shown as a zeros. So let's create a calculated field for this. See, you understood, right? When you are passing a integer number, top and bottom, you are passing that integer number to the filter section directly. Apart from that, in remaining all the cases, when you are creating any parameter, so you have to pass parameter to the calculated field to understand you are passing a value, external value to the reporter. Hmm. Subcat para sales. So for example, if subcat para, this is a parameter, is equal to, when this parameter is equal to, what is the requirement? When a parameter is equal to the respective subcategories, sale amount has to be shown in the report, and the remaining sales of other subcategories has to be shown as zeros. Correct? So I have to compare the subcategory parameter with the subcategory value. So I have to write a equal operator. So by comparing with the subcategory column. Got it? So when I'm comparing in the result, what I have to show? What I have to show? I
Sales,
have to
right?
show the
Then sales.
sales. Then only your calculation result shows a number, sale amount. And the remaining all what I want to show. So this is for satisfied condition. For the first one, book cases from the subcategory column. From the parameter, it is storage. This is a dissatisfied condition. If it is a satisfied condition, it has to show the sales. If it is dissatisfied condition, what is the resultant I'm expecting? Zero.
Yes, others. Zero or others.
Correct?
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Else you are saying others. Example. Is that a valid calculation?
Yeah, yeah. No, no. String type of this one. That is.
For example, if you look at here, in the first if statement, you are managing with the result sales. Sales is what? It's an integer number.
Integer. That is the
Correct?
reason. Yes.
It's a number decimal data type. So it has a floated values as well. Whereas comes to the else, you are managing, you are resulting as others. Others is a string,
String.
sales is a number decimal. So a single column can defined with a single data type. You cannot define a single column to support a multiple data type results. Got it? So if you are resulting as a sales, yes, you have to result as a some number only. I'm resulting as a 0. If you look at this is 0, the calculation is valid. I want to mention, I'm trying to mention the 0. Yes. Is this valid calculation? Still it is a invalid calculation. So system does not allowing 0 as a number. It is allowing now 0 as a string because you specified 0 in the inverted comma. Got it? So now 0 become a string, sales is a number. Same how you mentioned others, 0 acts as like that. The result is 0, but the defined as a string. String means what? That does not support for any type of aggregation. It's only, it acts as a dimension. But here in the sales, in the first statement, it acts as a number. So this calculated field does not support two data types. Now the calculation is valid. Let's apply this. Let's drag this to the sheet. Got it? Now you are able to show the sales. Now you are able to show remaining all the values as zeros. Okay. Now let's take a scenario case on this. What is a scenario? Whatever I am passing the subcategory, let's consider this as a targeted sale amount of other subcategories. Targeted sale amount of other subcategories. Whatever subcategories made sales more than target sales has to be shown with green color. The subcategories which has lesser sales of my target sale amount need to be shown with a red color, and the subcategories who achieved the targeted sale amount has to be shown with a yellow color. Got my point? So the subcategory sales, whatever having the sales greater than my target sales, should be shown with a green color. Subcategories whatever having sales less than to my targeted sales has to be shown with a red color. Subcategories which is equal to the targeted sale amount has to be shown with the yellow color. So now in this example, labels has to be shown with the yellow color, and the remaining all subcategories which is having sales 12,695 has to be shown with the green colors, like bookcases, shades, furnishings, everything in number of values are there. So those all needs to be shown with the green color, and the remaining which are the subcategories having sales lesser than this 12,695. Those are, for example, 8,532. This is only the record now, I guess. So this has to be shown with red color. Moreover, this is dynamic. When I am changing, accordingly my report has to change the color condition as well. Got it? So this is a scenario for today. Let's Krishna Prasanna joined, right? Okay, good. Okay. So we're discussing about various functions, right? We know how to write rank function, how to use it. Similarly, I'll show you some few other functions. For example, this is category subcategory sales. Okay. So when you look at table calculated functions, I'll discuss about the table calculated functions again, but this is for your understanding. There is a function total. So what is the use of a total? For example, total of so total is a table calculated function. As I said, this is a total of expression. So under the expression, what expression you have to mention? You have to mention one aggregated expression, correct? So for example, I'm taking sum of sales. What I'm using? Total of sum of sales. Let's apply this. Let's drag this to the report. Total of all sum of sales is a total result. Got it? Summing of all subcategories sale amount is equal to this value. So this is a business sale amount. What is this? This is business sale amount. So how I'm saying this as a business sale? Let's drag sales into the report without having any dimension. 23 lakhs 26,534, same value being shown, 23 lakhs 26,534, right? So
Prem,
total is a,
it is nothing but category level, right? As a parent level, right?
it's not a category level, it is summing all the sum of sales here. Here
Mm,
this is the sum of sale amount. In the sheet 3,
mm,
where is the category level? Category level means
mm.
for a furniture level. Is this furniture sale amount? Not,
No,
it is
complete
all
all the.
categories sale amount. That's what I am saying. This is a business sale amount. So without using any dimension, what is the sales value returning here? 23 lakhs 26,534. This is value, that one, 23 lakhs 26,534. Sum of you are performing total on all sum of sales. In this report, in sheet number 3, we have 17 sum of sales values. How I am saying 17 sum of sales? Here in the bottom you can see 17 rows we have in the report. Sum of sales of 17 records is a total sale amount. We know the total, right? Total of all the values, that is the value this is. Got it? So like the way total works. So one more thing, let's place a category, subcategory. Okay, so here this is a sales. Okay, so category, subcategory and sales. So now here I'm showing category and subcategory as two different columns. I have a requirement from the client. So they don't want to see category and subcategories as a separate columns. They want to see category and subcategory as a single value. Single value. They don't want classified as two different columns. So one second. They don't want to see as two different columns. In this case, what you have to do? There are two ways. You have to check with the existing functionality anything supported to join these two columns. Okay. Otherwise, in general, when you think category subcategory has to be come in one column, so you have to combine these two columns with your new column. That is also a possible case. How can you join two columns when you have two dimensions? It is possible by using concatenation, correct? In SQL we will do concatenation. Similarly, you have to check on possibilities how to do the concatenation in Tableau. So I'm giving you those two options how to do this. For example, category, subcategory, these two are the two columns, right? So when you're selecting, select category, hold control key and select a subcategory, right click on it. There is an option create. Under create, select an option combined field. What is that option? Combined field. Yes, you created a combined field. See here, when you create a combined field, it is not acting as a calculated field. So they set an existing algorithm like that. So it is not acting as a derived column. It is not acting as a column newly created in Tableau. Got it? So there is no separate execution for this because it is not acting as a new calculated field or new column derived in Tableau. So it it acts as a existing column. You can see category how it label. Similarly, this combined column also having the similar label. Let's drag it to the sheet. If you look at these two values are separated with a comma and the category shown first, then subcategory showing. So whatever the column you are selecting first, that will be your first value. The next value, hold the control key and select a subcategory, that is your second value. Accordingly, it is displaying the data here. Category comma subcategory, you can remove this. Got it? So like the way you can able to create a combined field. Yes, is this only the option we have, or do we have any further options to combine? We know the concatenation, then how to do the concatenation? Yes, there is a way to do the concatenation. In Tableau, when you want to do the concatenation, I'm giving the naming convention as a concatenation. Got it? So type the name of the dimension. When you want to join, mention the place label plus a subcategory. Now these two columns you are joining with your concatenation. Always place used to perform concatenation between the dimensions. Got it? Let's apply this. If you look at here, this is also the same, this is also the same, but it is considered as a derived column in Tableau. Okay, obviously when you're deriving a column, it has some execution. So when you're dragging this to the sheet, it get executed. So like this, the way it is showing furniture, bookcases, furniture chairs, something like this. Correct? It is similar to this, but it is comma separated. It is not comma separated. So we can achieve that with a comma separated. How to do this? Let's edit the calculation. This is a place label, right? I'm adding one comma in place. Whatever you want to add, you have to make that as a string first. To make the string, you have to showcase, you have to embed under the inverted commas. Then only the value specified value in the inverted comma being calculated, being taken as a string. So how you joined these two with a single plus? Similarly, you are adding one more plus and you are joining that as a one more string. Let's apply this. Now comma being placed. Correct? I don't want, there is no space. I want to give one space. Let's give the space. Correct? Let's give the space. How many spaces you want, you can able to give this. If you want to replace with any other character, yes, you can replace with any other character. Here I have given one space, one hyphen, then one space. Let's apply this. Got it? So like this, the way you can able to concatenate two dimensions. Got it? Okay. Now category, subcategory. This is a sales. Okay. So like this way you can able to create a single bar chart. So now I want to give one more solution here. So I'm introducing the functions one by one. So later when I'm describing about specific type of functions, then I'll explain you clearly about that. Okay, so under the table calculated functions, if you look at there are n number of functions. So Windows functions are there: Windows average, Windows max, Windows minimum, Windows sum. Okay, now I'm going to give a brief you about a few functions. So Windows sum. Okay, let's search for Windows sum. This is the description. So this is a table calculated function, we know. So when you are using the table calculated function, under the expressions you must use an aggregated measure. It's very clear. We did similar example for rank function, we did similar example for total function, correct? Here Windows sum also a table calculated function. You must use some aggregated expression. So aggregated expression, what I am doing, I am taking sum of sales. Okay, so using the Windows function, what we can do, so we can take we actually, what is the use of Windows function? Windows function derives a window based on a size you specified. For example, this is a Windows sum, correct? So Windows sum of expression, start comma end. So start and end, those two are the used to define a Windows size. So when table calculated functions are executing, remember, so when table calculations are executing, for example, you are executing for the first record. This record will be 0 record. The previous records will be -1, -2, -3. Current record will be always 0. Next record will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Once execution process completed for record number 1, the cursor moves to the second record change. Again for this change, the record execution is like record. This is the record number 0 for the table calculated functions. Current record always 0. The previous record will be -1. The next record will be +1. Hope you got it. So furnishings, if you look at furnishings, what is the current record? Furnishings.
Two, right?
So how to, not to, so that's what I'm saying. So when whatever calculations you are writing, those all are executed record by record. So when you are writing a calculation, first the calculation get executed for the first record bookcases, correct? For the first record, when it is executing for bookcases, is for only table calculated functions. The current record is considered as a 0. The previous records will be -1, -2, -3, and the next records will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So moreover, the table calculated functions always executed at a table level. Table level means what? The dimensions whatever you are placing and showing in the report, that is a table. The view level, so the here the white space whatever you are showing, this is a table level. Got it? So moreover, table calculated functions are executing on aggregated measures. So when data get aggregated, when you're dragging a column to the report, then only the data get, the measure get aggregated. Got it? So the table calculated functions are executing only at a report level. It is not executing at underlying data source. So except this table calculated functions, the calculations what I wrote, these all are executed at a underlying data source. It is going to execute for 10,000 records. How many records we have? 10,194 records. So each calculation get executed record by record for 10,194 records. Then only it classifies data. But this is about normal calculations. Whereas comes to the table calculations, so the naming convention itself table calculations. Table calculations means these functions, these calculations get executed at a table level. In the table, how many records you are showing? Only those records the calculation get executed. So where is that Windows? This is a Windows. So the rank function you wrote yesterday, we discussed about rank functions. Rank function is a table calculated function. You are assigning the rank based on the sale amounts of the subcategories, sum of sale amounts of the subcategories. So you are executing rank function only for 17 records because it is not executing at underlying data source, because it is executed only at aggregated measure, because aggregated measures are aggregated only at a report level. Only at a report level. The report level can also called as a table level. Okay, here also similarly same Windows function, Windows sum is a table calculated function. So this is executing at a report level or at a table level. So for table level calculations, you take any of the example of table calculated function that get executed record by record at a report level. So obviously the cursor placed at row number 1 in our point. But when you are executing table calculated functions, it takes current execution record always as record number 0, and the previous records will be -1, -2, -3, and the next records will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? So now this function executing for the first record. So it takes this as a record number 0. Got it? Next record will be 1, 2, 3. Once execution process done for the first record, the cursor moves to the second record in your point. So, but for table calculated functions, this record will be record number 0 because this is the current execution record. The previous record will be -1. Now bookcases is -1, chairs is 0, furnishings is 1, tables is 2. Once the execution done for chairs, the cursor moves down to the third record. Got it? This is the current record now. Current record always considered as record number 0. What is the previous record? Chairs. Chairs is -1. What is bookcases? This is considered as -2. This is a tables as 1, appliances 2, art is 3. Let's give one more example for this. In table calculated functions, we have one more function that is lookup. Okay, if you read the description, returns the value of the given expression in a target row. What is, you have to mention what is the target row, accordingly the result will be returned there, specified as a relative offset from the current row. Use first plus n and the last minus n for target relative to the first or last rows in the partition. So it makes confusion, don't worry, let me execute this. Let's see the example now. Lookup of sum of profit first plus 1. So let me give an example. Lookup. Okay, this is a table calculated function, so obviously I have to specify aggregated measure under the expressions. Okay, here offset value I'm specifying as 0. Let's apply this. Let's drag this to the sheet. If you look at what is happening, there is no change in the result, correct? If you look at all the records, there is no change because the function defined to return offset value record to the targeted row. What is the targeted row? Current record is a targeted row. What is the offset value here? 0. So when you specifying offset value 0, current record is a 0, right? As per my explanation. That's the reason. What is the source record? It is at a offset value 0. The current execution is at bookcases. The offset value execution is also 0. Obviously, the same sale amount will be returned under bookcases. Let me change this as a -1. Look at again the same example. The execution always starts record by record, right? So it is running for bookcases. When you are executing this function for bookcases, what is the offset specified? -1. Do we have any other subcategory before to the bookcases? There is no subcategory. But the result of this lookup has to be placed in the current executed record. Current executed record is bookcases. There is no previous sales. There is no previous record. So there is no previous sum of sales. That's the reason it is returning null. It is blank. Got my point? Now the execution process done for record number 1. Now the execution process moving to the record number 2. Lookup of sum of sales. Okay. Sum of sales of where offset -1. In the table calculated function, the current record is 0, previous record is -1. So bookcase sale amount you are calling through lookup function, and it has to be executed and placed in the targeted row, that is for chairs. Yes, this is a sale amount of bookcases. Got it? So based on the offset value specified, the result of that sales placed into the targeted record. This is my targeted record. Similarly, the execution will be done for all the records. So let's take an example for the furnishings. What is the sale amount of my offset present mentioned value? -1. -1 means what? The current record execution is 0, previous record is -1. Chase sum of sales is -1 record. So that is that has to be written in my targeted row. Targeted row is furnishings now. Current execution record is a targeted row. Remember this. Current execution record is my targeted row. So obviously -1 value, chairs value has to be written at furnishings. Got it? Similarly, if you look at phones, 3,31,843 of phones sale. This is the current record. In your case, when you are looking at visualization, this is last record. But table calculated functions execution is record by record. The records for the records available in the report. So in the report, I have 17. When it is executing for the phones, this record considered as a current execution. So that is 0. What is the previous record? Machines. Machines value passed to the targeted record, that is for current record execution for phones. Got it? So let's for more clarification, let's place it as a -2. I'm changing offset value from -1 to -2. For bookcases, what is the source record? -2. So current record is 0, previous record is -1 and -2. There is no previous records -1, -2. That's the reason targeted record returning is blank. Similarly for chairs, the execution done for bookcases, right? Now the execution move to the second record, chairs. When you are passing execution to the chairs, what is the offset value? -2. You want a previous second record sum of sale amount that needs to be extracted and resultant present resultant to be aligned to the current record. Current record is chairs. So the source record is -2. We have -1, but we don't have -2. Got my point? It has to return blank to the current execution. Now the execution done for the second execution again move to the third. what is the offset value? -2. So you are executing for furnishings. Chairs is -1, bookcases is -2. Bookcases value has to be present or aligned at the current targeted record. Current target record furnishings 1,15,361. Got my point? This is a targeted record. Let's come down to the last one, phones. So obviously, let's assume record by record all executed. Now it's phone's turn. So this calculation executing for phones. When you are executing for phones, what is a -2? Current record is a 0. -1 is machines. Copiers is -2. -2 value has to be returned in my targeted record. That is for current execution. That is for phones. So copiers value has to be shown under the phones. 1,50,745. Yes, it is being displayed. Got it? So this is with the negative offsets. Let's show it with the positive offsets. This is bookcases. As I said, bookcases execution is for current execution always 0. As I said, the next record will be 1. The previous record will be -1. Correct? So what is the sale amount of chairs? 3,35,000. That has to be returned to the my current execution record for bookcases. Yes, 3,35,000 being aligned here. But whereas comes to the phones, what is the current record? Phones. The execution is executing at record phone. Okay. What is the next record? As per my offset value specified, it has to return the next value to the current row. There is no next value. This is the last record in my execution. Got my point? This is the last record. So obviously what happens? It has to return blank to the phones. Yes, it is returning blank to the phones. Phones values to phones sale amount should be aligned to the machines. Yes, it is aligning phones sale amount. Got it? So like the way you can able to use lookup function. It is only this is example for the lookup, but all table calculated functions executed like this. Got it? So where is the Windows? This is a Windows. So lookup function is returning only one value in the target. There is no window size. But whereas comes to the Windows sum, it has a Windows size. Window size means what? You have to define what is the window size. I'm defining start to position of the window and end position of the window. Start to position is -1. Let's make 0, 0. The calculation is valid. Correct? Where's the Windows? I'm dragging to the sheet. I'm placing next to the Windows. So I'm comparing these two. If you look at here, 0, 0 I mentioned, right? So my window size is only restricted to current record. Got my point? My Windows size is restricted to only one record. Why? Because start window size is 0, end window size is 0. So there is no window size. Whatever the record executing for current, that will be the window size. Window size 0, 0. There is no previous, there are no next records. That is fine. Windows sum of sales. Yes, same records sale amount is the targeted. Similarly for chairs, if you look at for all the records, my Windows function returning same sale amount. Now I am changing.
I'm sorry for interruption. I need to drop off. It's already.
Okay.
How much time it will take to complete this?
No, just 2 minutes. let me give this, let me complete this example.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look at now I am defining the size of minus 1 comma 0. Minus 1 means what? This is a current record. The previous record is minus 1. Current record is 0. Minus 1 to 0 record. That value need to be summed. That is a window size. That value need to be summed using Windows sum function, and that value has to be placed in the target. So if you look at minus 1, there is no previous value. Okay, and for the current record, this is a 0. You already given for current value. It is combination of only two records, current record and previous record. Current record and previous record. Previous record we don't have value, that's return. It is returning current record value because the Windows size is here two records, previous record and current record. There is no value for previous. For current only we have value. The summing of current value is this one. Whereas comes to the change. Okay, let's understand this. Whereas comes to the change. Now the execution is at a record number change. Got it? Now it is redefines the window size. Window size is minus 1. Minus 1 means what? The previous record. 2, window size is 0, current record. Previous record to current record, summing of these two values, how much? 4,51,129. Correct? Again, moving cursor to the down for execution for furnishings. This is now record number 0. Correct? How to define window size? Window size is the offset value what is specified here. Start window size is minus 1, the previous record. And with Windows end size is 0, current record. And these two values part of my window now. Windows sum I am performing. Sum of all the records which available in my Windows function. These two are available in my Windows function. 3,35 plus 95. 4,31,366 returned in the targeted as a targeted value. Got it? Similarly, this execution done till to the last record points. Again, it defines a window size. Window size starts minus 1. Obviously, this is a 0 1. Okay, previous is minus 1. Minus 1 to window size is how many? 0. So current record. So these two will be part of my execution. Summing of these two sales. It takes sum of sales of these two. Those two get aggregated using Windows sum, and the resultant is 5,21,000. 1,89,925 plus 3,31,843. Resultant output is 5,21,768. Got it? So today we discussed about Windows sum. Similarly, you can use it for Windows Max as well. So I given these examples as a reference to achieve the requirement. Here I given one requirement. So when I am passing a measure subcategory, so you have to classify based on the colors. So let's consider this as a targeted sale amount. Subcategories which had sales, which made sales more than my targeted sales has to be shown with the green. Subcategories which has less than the sales of my targeted sales has to be shown with red. Subcategories which is having same sale amount of my targeted sale has to be shown with the yellow color. Got it? So targeted sets always getting changed based on my parameter selection. Got it? So accordingly write a comparison and make the requirement ready with your solution. 23rd. Got it?